Good afternoon, happy Tuesday. It's another edition of the Desktop Confessional, and I'm here on a now mandatory lunch break. So, going into Tuesday and going into this new week, just FYI, I'm going to be leaving campus at the final bell dismissal as close to 3:30 as possible, because today is also the first day of fall semester classes at Cal State Long Beach. So I've got my personal agenda set, and there's just been a lot of things going on in here in regards to policies, procedures, and all sorts of things. It is now pretty clear with me and teachers is that um, I'm not the only one who's complaining about what's going on at my site. I'm actually not the only one. So apparently, there's been a lot of issues with emails being sent out. This is going to be fun. Some teachers have received emails inquiring why they are late in arrival to school. Now, the definition of a late in regards to this is our school bells go off at about 7:41, between 7:41 and 7:45. As of today, excluding Mondays, and we've established a three-stage bell starting at 7:41 to reduce the amount of kids stampeding into the hallway. So the three-stage bell allows first bell, 8th grade goes in, second bell, 7th grade goes in, and then third bell, 6th grade goes in. So like everyone gets staggered in so we don't end up with a stampede. Now that part makes actual sense. But I kind of feel bad for the teachers right now because there is this prescribed mandatory thing where the teachers have to be, logged into their little thing at 7:30 a.m. Now, of course, shit may happen, okay? There might be a traffic accident, or, you need to go medicate your dog or something like that. Or just something that may, eat like 2 or 3 minutes out of time. So, a teacher might come in at like 7:35 occasionally because, junk happens. I mean, hell, I have one coworker who has 4 kids and, the wife has limited mobility. And so 5 minutes late, I mean, for me personally, and of course, I never want to be an administrator, but if I said something, I would have been like, okay, you all right? Did you make it? I mean, whatever happened to the decency let me lock my door here. That's better. But, whatever happened to the decency of asking anyone how they're doing? There has to be a reason why something happens. The product of something is not the result of an excuse, And so I'm hearing, grumblings among several of my coworkers, my teacher coworkers, who are basically saying that, they feel like they're being micromanaged and over trivial things like time. These are the same teachers who are staying after school until 4:30 p.m. to assist students whenever they need it. So I'm very confused by this, and that has probably been the biggest item of contention. I had another meeting today with my coach, and it's improving. I had to introduce him to the organization system that I'd like to continue with, and it looks like it's being adopted. I'm finally getting a few things squared away, including the printer usage, because, as you know, I had to deal with printer Nazi problems. And so I was put in charge of creating the printage usage guidelines for the entire school, which also translates to the main office is no longer going to control who can and who can't print to the color laser. So I'm finally calming that and just going, okay, guys, we can work within reason. We just have to follow a couple guidelines so that everyone has a fair chance at the printers. So I'm working on that. And of course, having all of these other emergency things, popping up, it makes it difficult for me to work on, other long-term items. But, doing my best. What can I do? And now I'm also dealing with the mandatory breaks have returned. The mandatory breaks have returned. So I now have, and I just realized this on my phone, is that I have all of these alarms on my phone. And I think there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 I have 8 alarms on my phone straight up. And the part that's hilarious is that none of them are personal. None of them. They're all related to my work. I'm going, are you kidding me? So, for example, I have the ones that have always been on my phone, like the 5:30 alarm when I wake up, the poke time to pretend to care alarm. 7:30 is when I have to do supervision, so that's prevent prison riot. 9:30 is now my daily 10-minute mandatory break number 1. 10 a.m. on Wednesday is brunch recess picante. 10:15 on Monday is expose Miss M to sunlight. 10:43, where I have to go outside for 8th grade snack supervision and try not to get hit by a basketball on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, is nobody understands what I do here. Noon is mandatory lunch, although I did commit a mortal sin and I clocked out at 12:08, so whatever. And then 2 p.m. is my final daily 10-minute mandatory lunch number 2, or mandatory break number 2. So I have more alarms on my phone than common sense here, and they're all related to this. I have to do things aside from, try to actually do my job, and then they wonder why, I can't do certain things. But I think the funny part about it is, all of the I think they're trying to compliment me, but for me personally, it's kind of coming out very awkward, especially when they go, Christy, we've really seen a turnaround in your performance, and that you've been really proactive about a lot of things. Right. I think, look, the only reason why it looks proactive is because I'm actually telling you what I do behind the scenes now. You just don't let me, I can't not report it anymore. So it makes me look like I'm being more proactive when I've been a ninja for so long, just kind of taking care of all of your crap. And I'm also realizing too that I'm spending a lot of time trying to see, as I like to call it, I have to put out the fires before they happen. So I have to be a psychic firefighter, which, that's a really weird job description to have, is be a psychic firefighter. But yeah, I'm seeing mistakes that they're about to cause, and I have to solve it. So it's kind of like, I think the whole proactive approach, or like the attempt to say, hey, you have to be proactive, is a nice way of saying, we're eventually going to screw up, and we need you to save our asses. And I think that's what it boils down to. Anyway. So that's the current scheme of things. It's kind of rough right now here. I don't know what's going down the pipeline on the administration end, but something has to have happened in regards to the uppers talking to our uppers, because these like notes about being 3 minutes late and all this stuff, and it's like I'm thinking something has to have happened. There has to be some fire lit under somebody, or someone's getting canned, or something happened. I don't even know. I can tell you that the central IT office is a giant cluster. Half the accounting department's gone, and there's a bunch of things happening in terms of like mass, quitting and trying to fill in the spaces and all this other stuff. There's a lot going on. I'm still waiting. I know it's Tuesday, and I took this test last Thursday. But I am really hoping for a response from Fullerton. At this point, I'll take the yes or the no. At least just someone get back to me saying, hey, someone gave me a good look and may have given me a chance, and we'll see. Because, the going behind the orange curtain is sounding a lot more appealing as things go by. So, with that being said, it's been a challenge. Things that also suck too is, I was about my breaks and things like that. Is that even though my break, I was given breaks, I had to email to request to have them moved, because one of my breaks falls under one of my meetings, which is completely doesn't work that way. And I wasn't, and honestly, I don't take my 10-minute breaks usually, but I didn't take my first 10-minute break until 11 a.m. and I was supposed to have taken it at like 9:20. So there's just a lot of things that there's just no recognition that I'm all over the place, and I need to take the break whenever I have. Stupid alarms put on my phone and they're really annoying. Like, I do it on purpose. If any of you guys are extremely familiar with with Legend of Zelda. I had to do this because it's funny, but this is what goes on whenever my alarms go off.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Hey,
Yeah.
listen! Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
So yeah, I make my alarms very annoying, and you know, if you are a Legend of Zelda fan, you know how annoying that stupid little fairy is. So yeah, you know, and the breaks are a union issue for the district. It's in contract. Janita, nice to hear from you. I do see the comment, but here's the thing: we're charter, so we're not. None of us are protected by union. As hourly, I'm classified hourly. I'm at will. My teachers are not protected with a contract, and they are not union, so they can do whatever the, you know. And I understand the whole break thing. No, I mean, yes, it's union issue. It's also federal law. But at the same time, my issue is not with the fact that the breaks exist. It's also just the way that they're implemented. It's like there's really no say unless I say something. And I find that the most challenging part. You know, it's because it's implemented by my operations manager, who has no awareness of what I do, because A, I'm on the other side of campus, like on the other side of the wall. And B, she never bothers to ask. It makes it difficult. But yes, I understand. I have to take the 2 10-minute breaks. I just wish I was inquired about, you know, what time and like what suits me the best within the reason of a window. Like
10 p.m. to Avila.
See, I mean, I'm okay with, honestly, like I'm okay with like people telling me, hey, you know, this is something we have to do, you know. But I just wish it wasn't like laid down. I just wish it wasn't laid down like some mandatory like law from God. Like that's the part that just makes everything effing annoying. Lunch later. Oh. I'll just take those from you right now. Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. I'll make an exception to her. She's cool. So yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard though, because I think there's a lot of other things that are happening behind the scenes. You know, like I said, we're not union protected, and neither are the teachers. They don't sign contracts; they sign agreements. And I'm not sure. I really don't know what's going on right now. You know, and there's just a lot. You know, I mean, I'm just really glad that I'm not like completely like, you know, hiding under a table and crying like I was before. But it's still very uneasy to be here. And, you know, I'm just trying to work within it. I'm trying to figure out why I'm at lunch. What the hell do you want?
Just returning your Chromebook that you let me borrow. Thank you.
Well, right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But yeah. I mean, I wonder how many of you out there have been working for a charter school. But I mean, the more that I sit through this, and the more that I see what's going on, and the more I see how it's such a controversial issue. This whole thing, the existence of charter school, I just don't understand. I mean, yeah, I understand if I didn't have this, you know, my position wouldn't exist. But then again, you know, things like this, you know, appear in my, you know, in my life, you know, so it's just, yeah. So my mandatory lunch is over, and I requested my lunch to stay at noon. I'm like, look, people, you know, first off, you laid this on me like in the summertime when it was really a shitty time anyway. Can I just keep my consistency? Can I just have my consistency for once? You know, I just developed systems that are going to try to, you know, iron out whatever, you know, this bumpy stuff is. And, you know, a lot of it is done. I'm not one to blame other people, but I'm going, guys, you know, you have to allow me to do my job. You know, I mean, I understand that there's some things like, and just to go into this, since I have 6 minutes left on my break, the whole debate between charter and public, I know that there are some parts in charter versus public school that are, that really, put charters in a different area than the public schools. I mean, yeah, if you have the right kind of management and you have, well, not the right kind of management, but if you have the right kind of standards that are upped and, the, test scores are good and, things are improving and stuff like that. Yeah, there is a way to say that charter schools, pay more attention to the students. But I will say this: things that I've learned so far is that it does it at the cost of the sanity of everyone else who's working there. I mean, I understand that there are lots of grade level things that we have to meet, but other things too is that and it's like every public school, but some of the population that we receive are up for have specific issues that we have to take care of. I'm just going to put this one out there because this one's related to IT. So we have at least 2 students in our school that cannot speak English at all. These are 6th graders coming in. They cannot speak English at all. I've been asked, and this was a side thing that I had to do in addition to everything else I'm doing, where I had to prepare software and iPads for these students so that they could do specific curriculum exercises that will allow them to learn English, or at least learn the best they can, which, I mean, fortunately they're young, so they'll probably figure it out. It's cool. Here's the thing, though. Part of this also involves a pet project that I've been working on with introducing a software program called Kurzweil 3000. This is a software program, and I'm just going to toot my own horn here. This is a software program that I have been trying to propose since last semester. And I will say this, when I had my first meetings with the new principal right now, and I mentioned that I was working on this, the first thing he told me to do was to focus more on the things that mattered and that were simpler and that were more required for the school. Instead of saying, hey, it's really nice that you're looking out for these kids. No, it's like focus on what's more important. I will say this. If you told me to focus on what's more important, I would be sitting here all day and not doing shit. I really wouldn't be. I mean, I would be waiting here for students to, for their Chromebooks to break or whatever. I wouldn't have to be, spending my time, using the master's degree, pursuit of my master's degree pursuit education, to research these products that are going to help our school, because I'm spending money on this master's degree that's not being recognized by IT for any potential raises whatsoever. Yeah, that's great, guys. And then now that I finally introduced this goddamn program, now you want it. Now you want this program. Really? Okay. That's great, kids. Yeah, I'm not doing my job at all. Right. So I'm looking forward to 3:30 today. Pam, my 2011 Versus is sitting outside ready to go. And I'm going to be lane splitting my way all the way to Long Beach because it's going to be really crappy traffic on the 405. Yeah. I can't explain much more than that. It's like, look, guys, I have been trying to help you guys out. Throw me a frickin' bone here. You're not going to. I feel sorry for the teachers. I just hear what they're asking for. I hear what's going on, and I'm going, that doesn't even make me want to be in education anymore at this point. It's like, oh, you're going to micromanage me here? I mean, why don't you just micromanage me in a place where you pay me more? I'm confused now. I'm really confused now. Yeah. It's an assumption that charter is better than public. I mean, in some cases it is when you think about some schools and the product that they output, but I don't know how much more of a success it is, to be honest, because it's the adults who end up suffering in the end, like more than that they would in the normal district. Because they're expecting us to make miracles out of, it's kind of like that, the unreasonable demands. It kind of reminds me of the movie 10 Commandments, where there's that the order from the Pharaoh, where they are ordered to make bricks without straw, and they're not given the straw. to make the bricks, to mix with the mud. I mean, it's hard, I don't know what they want to do with us. It's like making, it's supplies aren't there. I'm writing notes stating that certain things I can't do because of it. Anyway, and as you see during this lunch break, I've been already disturbed twice, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm good. It's 12:38. This is when my mandatory lunch ends. So I'm going to sign off, and I hope to talk to y'all later, but it's going to be a better day at class. I just got to get to Long Beach safely. So ta-ta for now, and stay clean.